All right, folks, welcome back to BEG Wrestling. We are here with WrestleMATNESS Aaron to discuss the 167 to 174 pound greatest NCAA wrestler of all time.
And go!
And we're not only here with Aaron, we're here with statistician Kevin and two-time NCAA champion, former Olympian, and 2009 Hodge Trophy winner, Jake Herbert in the house. If anyone knows how to talk greats, it's him. But today, we're going to talk about the 167 to 174 pound weight class. But before we get into it, you got to go to WrestleMatness.com. Aaron, tell them where they can find some of these write-ups, because you guys did some incredible brief write-ups about each one of these first-round matchups.
Yeah, when you either go to WrestleMatness.com and join, when you go into the event for this GOAT 167, 174 pound weight class, right at the very top, there's a button to save your picks and also to check out the event info. And if you hit the event info, it'll take you back to WrestleMatness.com, where you can read the write-ups for all the first-round matchups through the whole bracket. So it'll give you a little bit of content on each of the wrestlers, and it even kind of is directed to sort of highlight the matchup between those two particular wrestlers, so talking about their strengths and their accolades. So if you're a little intimidated by the names because you don't know them, it's a great resource for you to, I guess, backfill some of that with some of that knowledge so that you can make more educated picks.
Yeah.
So hit the event info back.
Go there, folks, and vote. This is a fan vote, and especially in this weight class, Jake, this is a little lighter than what you wrestled at, but this is a fan vote, and some wrestlers in this might be more so fan favorites than others. How you doing, Jake?
Doing well, yeah. No, I was in this weight class for 2 years, and it was a heck of a cut. And then once I got out of this weight class, I quit losing. So,
hey,
way easier that way.
That's why he wasn't in this bracket, but he was in another one. Kevin, how you doing before we kick it off here?
Good. Things are good.
This is a fun one. All right, let's roll, folks. The first matchup we're going to look at, number one, Carter Starocci and his 2023 season, where he went 24-0 with 4 pins, going up against the number 32 seed. He just snuck in the bracket, Dean Hamiti, from just this past season, the Oklahoma State Cowboy, who went 27-1 with 3 pins. Aaron, tell us about this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, this is one we could have witnessed in real life. I don't know if they ever wrestled. I don't think so. I didn't do the research on that, but I think Starocci going up to 184 this past season definitely opened the door for Hamiti to have a shot at this title. And I don't particularly see Hamiti being able to beat Starocci if they were to meet in real life. But, man, it'd be a fun match to watch. But I would probably have to go Starocci here.
Kevin?
Yeah, Starocci's going to be too big, too strong. I don't think Hamiti would be able to score on him. So, definitely Starocci.
Jake?
Yeah, I'm going Starocci 9 out of 10 matches, man, if you watch this, right? Because there's no way in my mind Hamiti was going to beat Levi Haynes, and he pulled it out. That's the fun thing of why you wrestle this. But I think, 99.9% of the time, Starocci's winning this match, but you can't take it away from Dean there, man. He put it together when it counted and got his national title. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I think we saw the best Dean Hamiti that we've ever seen, and the only thing I'll say is it is a fan vote, so but I gotta go Carter. But with what's going on lately,
yeah,
fans, it's up to you. You vote Dean Hamiti. He's everyone lovable guy, and then there's rumors about Carter, but all right, you gotta vote, fans. It's up to you. Let's move on to the next matchup we have here. Number 17, Dave Shultz, when he was at Oklahoma, who went 33-3 with 7 pins in the 82 season, going up against Myles Martin in the 2016 season. Out of Ohio State, 25-6 with 4 pins that year. And we all know Dave Shultz. And Aaron, what are your thoughts here?
I think Dave Schultz might be the sneakiest 17 seed that we've had in any of our GOAT brackets up to this point. I just think he was so focused on world titles versus NCAA titles that maybe that kept that title number down a little bit. He had a transfer situation in there from Oklahoma State that maybe, I don't know, threw a little wrench in that progression or the collection of titles at the NCAA level. So he's just a one-timer, which puts him in that lower seed. But I think this is where we could see a 17 seed come all the way out to the finals at least, because of his reputation, his creativity on the mat. He could beat anybody if they were to wrestle in real life.
Yeah, Kevin?
I like Shultz because I believe this was Myles Martin's freshman year, right? So I think he was just Shultz experience and Martin just a little too young. Shultz physicality, I would take Shultz in this. Jake?
Yeah, I'm going Shultz through and through on that, with it being Myles' freshman year. I mean, Myles is a freak of an athlete, but like, man, Dave Schultz just really studied the sport. Myles Martin is probably one of the best athletes on this page all around. Being able to beat Bo Nickel to win it this year. But man, Dave Schultz is a legend. He's going to study him. He's going to know him. You wonder how much preparation they have, but I just got to go with Dave and his experience.
Yeah, I'm going Dave as well, the 84 Olympic gold medalist, and we all know him. He was murdered by John DuPont in the very well done Foxcatcher movie. If you haven't seen it, yes, this is that Dave Schultz, and I'm voting Dave Schultz. Before we get to next match, what an interesting second round matchup we could potentially have: Carter Starocci and Dave Schultz. Fan voting. Yeah. Wow,
one of the best cameos you ever seen. That Foxcatcher. Best acting I've ever seen in my entire life. Channing Tatum looked like he could actually beat me in a match. Took all my ability. All of it.
Yeah.
And the audience believed.
You should have got an Oscar for that one, Jake.
I know, I'm waiting on it. It's all right, yeah.
Well done. Well done. All right, let's move on to the next matchup. We have the number 9 seed Chris Pendleton and his 2005 season out of Oklahoma State, where he went 36-1 with 10 pins, going up against the number 24 seed Charlie Jones. And the 1992 season, the Purdue Boilermaker went 33-1 that year. Aaron, who are you going with here?
Oh man, I got to go Pendleton here. Charlie Jones is a really interesting character. I think he has the title as the oldest NCAA champion. He was like 28 years old when he won that. He went into the Army first, and then, or maybe it was the Air Force, and then to either a Division II or an NAIA school first, and then ended up at Purdue. And he had a phenomenal single season here that we're putting him in the tournament at. What was it, 92?
Yep.
But Pendleton, beat our number 3 seed twice in the finals to be a 2-timer. Again, this top quad is just loaded with top end talent that could all of these guys could easily make the finals. So, but I'm going to go Pendleton here.
Kevin?
Yeah, Pendleton all day. I think I can't say I know a lot about Charlie Jones. Regardless, I'd be having Pendleton first round anyway.
All right, Jake.
Yeah, Pendleton through and through. Having wrestled him and knowing him, and he's a 2-timer. Guy knew how to wrestle. Got to put him over Charlie Jones.
Well, and the person the 3 seed that you mentioned, Aaron, that he beat twice, Ben Askren. You might have heard of him. He's coming up here soon. But let's move on. Next matchup we have here, the number 25 seed Jon Reader and his 2011 season out of Iowa State, where he went 39-0 with 3 pins, going up against the 8 seed Dan St. John, 1990. Arizona State, 40-0-1 that year. I could see some upsets here, maybe, Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, these guys stacked up wins in that prime season, as we call it here at WrestleMATNESS. This is a tough one to call. Zach and I were talking about this one before we actually started the show. I'm probably going St. John on this one, but yeah, it could go either way.
Kevin?
I'm actually going Reader on this one.
Me too.
I think Reader, Jordan Burroughs came back. He got, first time around his senior year, he got injured. He had to take a med shirt, and he came back. If not for that, I think Reader would have won the Hodge Trophy that year. Real tough dude. I loved watching him wrestle, so I'm gonna go Reader.
Jake?
I don't know. That's a toss-up one, man. It's tough, man. I think I picked St. John in it. I've gotten to wrestle Reader. He's tough and great, but like I look at this, there's just such a bias of like newer guys versus older guys, right? Like, not having to ever got to watch. I mean, I was 5 years old when St. John won his national championship, so I know him through his son, right? Who won it at 157, Derek St. John. And I'm just looking at that legacy and that title in there, and I want to throw that factor in. So I'm going to say St. John in this one.
Okay, I like that. I didn't. Good info there. Didn't know about the son, but all right. Let's move on. We got next matchup, number 5 seed Marty Kistler and his 86 season out of Iowa. He went 37-1 with 9 pins, going up against the 28 seed Bill Simpson. 1973 season, Clarion. 39-2 with but 19 pins that year. Could we see an upset here, Aaron?
Yeah, I tell you what, this is going to be a battle of muscle. Both these guys are going to be looking for falls. So yeah, it's going to be a matter of who catches who. Bill Simpson comes out of Clarion, which is a Western PA. At the time, they were a state college, not even a university, small school, Division II, but they would wrestle the Division I championships as well. Extremely tough athlete. Kistler's definitely a stud as well. Super strong. I believe he decked Randleman in the finals one year, who we had in one of the GOAT competitions. I think I'm going to go Kistler here. I guess more championships, so has proven it to win the big one when the time comes.
All right, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm going Kistler. He was absolutely dominant in the 86 NCAAs. He won the most outstanding wrestler that year, and so I'm going Kistler.
Fair. Jake?
You guys are forgetting one factor here that Bill Simpson has. His training partner in 1970, I mean, that was a great team, right? They had Don Roan, they had Wayne Chalice there at this time. His training partner was Jim Herbert, my father. And I'm like,
get out of here.
My dad was there on that team at that year. He graduated Clarion in 74. So he had to get in there. And, so I got to give that to Bill Simpson there at that point, just as the fan favorite, right? Like,
very nice.
My dad was there on that team, probably got beat up a little bit by Bill, maybe did a couple beating up, but yeah, that's where I'm throwing at that time.
Wow, fascinating. And would you say Wade Chalice was on that team too? That makes sense.
Wade Chalice, Don Roan. Yeah, I got to grow up like knowing Don Roan. That was one of my dad's best friends in college.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. It's just great to see you going up to Clarion and seeing that history there with the Angles and everybody else, and having had Mark Angle as my coach, and getting to watch Kurt Angle do his thing too.
Kid, a guy from my high school that I was good friends with, Dan Payne, went to Clarion. He was All-American in '95 at heavyweight. We got to go to Iowa and watch him do it.
Yeah.
Clarion, awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I just had my vote swayed here. Bill Simpson. Show some respect, folks. But all right, let's move on. The next matchup we have here, number 21 seed, Mike Van Arsdale in the 1988 season, Iowa State. He went 28-4-1. Going up against the number 12 seed, Markus Mollica. Did I say that right? 1995 Arizona State, 27-2. Aaron.
Yeah, I think it's Mollica, but I don't know. Either way, I'm going Mollica here. This is another toss-up, though. I mean, these first-round matchups, this bracket, I was telling Zach before we started the show, you had to be a 3-time All-American to even get into this bracket of 32. I had a lot of one-timers that didn't have enough All-American accolades to even get into the bracket. So they're all so closely matched when you look at them. But I got to go Mollica here on this one.
Kevin?
Yeah, ditto that. Mollica, 4-time All-American, went 1-1-4-5, not in that order, but this year, the 95, he was 27-2, very dominant, so I'm going to go with him.
All right. Jake?
Mollica as well, man. That guy could move. I got to watch a couple clips of him. Probably ran into him once or twice, but I'm going him all day.
Yeah, I agree. I was going with Mollica as well. All right, moving on. We got number 13 seed, Andy Matter, the 1972 season. Penn State Nittany Lion went 21-0. He's going up against the number 20 seed, Steve Luke, in his 2009 season. Michigan Wolverine, 32-0 with 4 pins. Jake, who you going with here?
That's a tough one. Steve just knew how to win. I mean, he was not an offensive powerhouse on there, but again, the legacy of Andy Matter, right? He had 2 guys wrestle at UPenn, Clint and Brent Matter, who are running the Beat the Streets and really involved, and I think we're both national finalists on there, man. So as much as I'd want to say Steve Luke, just because I'm like, dude, you play the 1985 Bears against any NFL team, current NFL team today, they're going to get smashed just because of bigger, stronger, faster, better. But from that fan favorite, I love that legacy there with Matter in it, man. So I'd probably want to go with him and figure it out. But realistically, and if that match actually happened, you take the bias aside, right? Anybody who doesn't vote Carter Strock, they're like, oh, I don't like him, I'm going to vote he's not going to win. He's going to win. Like, sorry, he's tough. So it's probably going to be Steve Luke. He's big, he's strong, he's a pharmacist, he's super smart. He knew wrestling, but Andy Matter, I think, just loves and believes this sport, and it just shows in being able to have his kids compete in that national NCAA tournament and All-American and finals too. So I love that legacy. So I'm really swayed by that stuff.
Look at that. Great info. He's a pharmacist. Jake with unbelievable content. I even went out of order there. Sorry. Aaron, let's go back to you.
Yeah, I mean, the pharmacist bit is swaying me a little bit, but I think I'm still staying Andy Matter here. He's a PSU legend, and that season he was just a beast. They both were undefeated in their prime season, but I think Matter just did it in a more flashy manner, as Jake mentioned. Luke a little bit more defensive. So I'm going Matter.
And Kevin?
I'm going Matter. 61 career bouts, 59-2 record, 2-time champion. Guy just won.
Yeah, no, that'd be 72-09. Boy, that would be interesting. But all right, let's go on to the number 29 seed. David Lee in the 1989 season, the Wisconsin Badger went 32-2, going up against the number 4 seed Mike Sheets. And the 1983 season, Oklahoma Cowboy 37-0, the number 4 seed in this bracket. You got to take him to move on, right, Aaron?
Absolutely. Big Mike Sheets fan. David Lee's an interesting transfer as well. I maybe Stanford, I can't remember. Transferred over to Wisconsin, then ended up winning his title. But I don't think you beat Sheets. Sheets was just ironclad.
Kevin?
Yep, I agree. Sheets. He went 7-2-1-1. He won his last 75 matches between his junior and senior year, both undefeated both years. So I'm going to go Sheets for sure on this one.
All right, and Jake?
Absolutely. That's where my Oscar came from, playing Mike Sheets in the role. Who is currently a veterinarian in Oklahoma. Fun fact about Mr. Mike Sheets, if you guys didn't know that. I had to really go into character mode to embrace all this with him.
Wow,
But yeah, that guy is so tough. I think he doesn't get the credit. It's so unbelievable that if you look at guys like, you take somebody like Andrew Howe, great wrestler, right? But how good would he have been without Jordan Burroughs, right? And I think Mike Sheets the same way because of Mark Schultz, right? In that manner, right? He just had one more stud ahead of him. That guy was an international, could probably potentially be multiple world and Olympic champion. But you just have Mark Schultz sitting ahead of you. You know, it's the Jordan Burroughs effect, you know, that had on how many more titles would David Taylor or Dake or Howe have without Jordan Burroughs.
Yeah. Phil Mickelson with Tiger Woods. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. All right, your vote matters there, Louise. As we move to the bottom half of the bracket here, we're going to look at the number 3 seed. You all know him, Ben Funky Askren, folks. And his 2007 season, Missouri Tiger went 42-0 with 29 pins. Wow. Going up against the number 30 seed, poor Matt Brown. 2015 season, Penn State Nittany Lion went 31-3 with 11 pins. But come on, you got to go funky here, right, Aaron?
Absolutely. I'm not even going to say too much here. I'm going to let Jake kind of take the lead on the Askren accolades or the pouring it on because he knows them best. But I'm going Askren here.
All right, Kevin, right before Jake.
Yep, Askren. What can you say? I mean, he won 87 matches between in a row and between his junior and senior year. He had over 90% bonus rate. He had a 70% pin rate his senior year. And if you're looking at Hodge winners, the only guys that had a higher dominance rating was Cale Sanderson and Zane Rutherford just by like a couple hundredths. So, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
That's interesting.
He had over 50, he had 54 pins just his last 2 years. Forget the number, but something like 90-something career pins. Pretty crazy. And I'm glad that he's doing, hanging in there and great to see. That was
winning other battles as well off the mat. But Jake, bring us home with this one.
Yeah, it's Ben all day. I mean, I think the only person that actually thinks that could actually beat him would probably be Matt Brown himself, right? Like any guy in this bracket would have bet on themselves. But Matt Brown had one of the best quotes ever, right? Like he just was talking about this on Bo Nichols' podcast on everybody wants to win the World Series by hitting a grand slam. He's like, but sometimes you win on a bunt. He won his national title on a locked hands call, against Pitt guy. So not a dominant, fashionable win there, but still to be a national champ and put together a season like that. That guy is one of the biggest hammers in the world. But Ben Askren, that dude is one of the best folk style wrestlers of all time. Like 4-time finalists. He's up there. He's great, and God bless him that he keeps on fighting. And I love the inspiration that he continues to do, even through the adversity that he has, the double lung transplant, and where he's at, and just continue his prayers and support him. And love seeing how the wrestling world and his wake has kind of stepped up, right, to help and support him. It just shows you the character of who he is.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't have said it better myself there, Jake. And folks, this is a fan vote, so. As much as we all appreciate everything Ben is doing for the sport off the mat, this is fan vote. So get in there and vote for Ben Askren. You can be the difference maker here. But, yeah, we're all rooting for Ben. Keep fighting. But let's move on here because he's going to likely face the winner of this matchup here, the number 19 seed Doug Wynn and his 1974 season where he went 30-0 going up against the number 14 seed Mark Hall. In the 2017, I believe it was his true freshman season at Penn State where he went 31-3. This could lead to an interesting second round matchup, but who you taking here, Aaron?
I got Hall here. I think Hall, multiple finalists. I think if the 2020 season doesn't get cut short, he probably has 2 titles in this 174-pound weight class, but he doesn't. But I'm going with him over Doug Wynn, who I believe is the only representative of the Western Michigan University in all of the GOAT brackets that we've put together so far and will put together.
Interesting. Kevin?
Yeah, this kind of goes to where, like Jake was saying, the athletic ability of Mark Hall compared to someone in that, 70s era. I'm going to go with Hall. I mean, Hall was 6-time Minnesota state champion in high school, and then he comes right in his freshman year and wins a national title, which is, there's only like 35 guys ever to do that. So I'm going to go Mark Hall.
Jake?
Yeah, Mark Hall. It's the same thing, just bigger, stronger, faster, funkier. Guy knew wrestling, get it done. And again, how much? Again, it's the Burroughs effect there. How many more national titles did he have without Zahid? Those are the 2 guys. It was just every year it was Hall, Zahid, and I think Amin was in there a little bit too.
Yeah, in fact, I think he lost twice to Zahid, but he beat Zahid in this season. He also beat Bo Jordan this season. So and it was his true freshman year. I thought that was just very interesting. I'm going Mark Hall.
The year COVID, he lost his senior year there. He didn't get to go to NCAA's, so I think he only had 3.
But I mean, and if Mark Hall does win this, what an interesting second round matchup that would lead to. Ben Askren, Mark Hall. Whew. That's fun. But before we get there, let's move on. The next matchup we have here, the number 11 seed Jason Smith, 1970 season, Iowa State, 21-1-1 with 9 pins, going up against the number 22 seed Keith Gavin, and the 2008 season, the Pitt Panther, 27-0. Aaron?
Yeah, I went Gavin here. This is another one, Chris Edmond from Tennessee, right? University of Tennessee. Only representative for the University of Tennessee in all of the GOAT brackets. But actually, I had the privilege to work with Keith Gavin. He coached my son's youth team a couple years ago while he was still coaching Pitt, but he would his son was starting wrestling at North Allegheny youth wrestling, and so I have a soft spot for Keith Gavin. But it was amazing to see Gavin's progression, from a freshman all the way up to the senior year, where he ends up going and winning that title. So I'm going Gavin here.
Okay, he's coaching Aaron's son, so he had to pick Gavin. Kevin, do you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Just because he's coaching his son, though. No. No, Keith Gavin was so tough, and I mean he really gave Ben Askren, there was no question he was going to win that match throughout it, but he was kind of a thorn in his side in that match, especially since the rest of the year out of 42 matches, Ben bonused 38 people, 38 wrestlers. Gavin was one of the very few that he didn't bonus there. So yeah, I'm going to go Gavin on this.
And Jake?
Yeah, Keith all day. Just having trained with him, know him, watch him go from, growing up wrestling together in Fargo. I mean, we were training partners over Christmas break and stuff. We would get together and train and wrestle, and then ended up competing against each other a little bit to make, I think I beat him to make 2 world teams a couple times, man. So Keith is just a student of the sport. He really studies it. He knows it, and he's doing a great job there at Pitt right now, and I can't wait to continue to see how he continues to build that program.
Yeah, okay. I mean, we have 3 for 3 picking a 22 seed to upset the 11 seed. I mean, wow. I'm going Jason Smith. I mean, that's just crazy. And maybe some personal bias in there by some of our voters.
Hugely.
But, hey, It's all good. Let's move on to the next matchup we have here. Number 27 seed Chris Edmond and the 1985 season out of Tennessee. Aaron mentioned it. 42-7-2 that year, but he's going up against the number 6 seed Mark Branch and the 1997 season. Oklahoma State Cowboy went undefeated and 31-0. Aaron, what are you going with here?
Yeah, I'll have to correct myself. I did misread the bracket there on the last one. I had Gavin. I saw Edmond underneath him, but nonetheless, Gavin's still beating Jason Smith. But yeah, Edmond, as I mentioned, from the University of Tennessee, but only representative in the tournament. But you're not beating Mark Branch here. Sorry, I'm taking Mark Branch out.
Kevin?
Yeah, Mark Branch was in the finals 4 times. Not many can say that. And I mean, even his freshman year, he won it with 22-13 record. He just he wrestled great when the lights were on, and I'm definitely going Branch.
All right, and Jake?
Yeah, Mark Branch.
Mark Branch.
Yeah, that's one of the. I mean, he's one of the most done. The 4 seed here for a reason. You know, you don't get seated ahead of all these guys, you know, like that. So,
yeah, okay,
yep.
All right, consensus there. Mark Branch moving on. The next matchup we have here, this is an interesting one. The number 7 seed, Zahid Valencia, in the 2019 season at Arizona State. He was 32-0 with 9 pins. Going up against the number 26 seed, Mark Reiland, in the 1991 year. The Iowa Hawkeye went 44-5 with 18 pins. And a lot of years in between these two wrestlers. Aaron, who would you go with here?
Yeah, when I did the write-up for this one, I kind of alluded to the fact that, Ryland's only chance was to maybe hopefully wear Valencia down. If Valencia has any weakness, it maybe is his gas tank, but not too many people actually even push Valencia to that point where that becomes a factor. I think Valencia wins this hands down. Valencia is another one that probably is a 3-timer if they don't cancel the championships 2020. So just a dominant wrestler through his whole entire career, and I think he takes this one running away.
Stupid COVID season screwed everything up. Kevin?
Yeah, Zahid Valencia all day. 123-4 career record. Some might say questionable call on his freshman year in the semis versus Hall. But man, and I think don't be surprised if this dude wins a world championship this year. I know that weight class is so tough, but I love the fact that he seems to have a gas tank now and looks better than ever right now, training with Taylor and those guys. And his athletic ability and length, he's just so tough to wrestle, I imagine. So I'm going Zahid.
Jake?
Yeah, Zahid here as well. I mean, just a lot of years between that again, bigger, stronger, faster, but he's got his mat awareness. He's got a bronze medal already at the World Championships. He beat out Kyle Dake to make the team there. He's looking good.
Yeah. Zahid might be better now than ever. But, yeah, I agree. I'd go Zahid here. Zahid would face the winner of this next matchup. We have the number 23 seed, Jay Borschel, in the 2010 season. The Iowa Hawkeye went 37-0 with 10 pins. Going up against the number 10 seed, Chris Perry, 2014 season, Oklahoma State Cowboy, 30-1 with 7 pins. Chris Perry. Wow, Aaron, who would you go with here?
I went Perry, but this is another toss-up first rounder. Borschel transferred over to Iowa with the Branch brothers when they took that position from Virginia Tech, and really became a true Hawkeye. He's super tough, as you can see. The falls, both him and Perry putting up the falls, and a 37-0 perfect season is pretty impressive. But I don't know, maybe because I watched more of Chris Perry, I'm going with Chris Perry in this matchup.
Kevin?
I really struggle with this one. I'm going to go Perry. just based on, I think, his defense. But I think this match is almost a coin flip. I think a lot closer than what the seats are. But I'll go Perry.
And Jake?
Yeah, I think this one's going to be like who had the better breakfast, the better night's sleep, like who didn't get their knee tweaked in practice, man. They both are such good wrestlers. I mean, Borschel had that amazing match in the semifinals where he's down by like 9 or 10 right the year, and he came all the way back to win it, like gassed the University of Virginia guy out. Just came back on a storm to do it, so he can get a little sloppy there. And Chris Perry is just, I mean, you tell me that after Andrew Howell majors Valamont in the NCAA finals as a sophomore, I'm like, that dude's never going to lose again. And then all of a sudden, Burroughs gets him, and then Chris Perry gets him in the finals. I could not believe that, man. So Chris Perry can come and wrestle. He can put it together. I had to lean more towards Chris Perry on this one, just with him being tenacity and smart. But I think it comes down to, like I said, who's got the better week, who's feeling better. You're probably, they wrestle 100 times. It's probably going to be split somewhere around 50-50.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a complete toss-up. I went with Perry just because I'd like to see the theoretical matchup of Valencia and Perry there, potential second-round matchup. But it's up to you, fans. You got to go vote. Moving on, second to last first-round matchup we have here, the number 15 seed and Edinburgh kid, Josh Koscheck. In the 2001 season, he went 42-0 with 14 pins. Going up against the number 18 seed, Ray Miller, 1993 season, Arizona State. He went undefeated, 29-0. Wow, great matchup here. Aaron, who would you go with? I know who. Yeah.
Broke a long streak there of we only had one national champion at Edinburgh, Division I national champion at Edinburgh until Koscheck came along and put it back on the map in the 2000s. And, he always wrestled in a final, whether that be a consolation or actual final. And, 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe he took in his career. And I'm going with Koscheck here.
Kevin?
Yeah, I agree. So tough. Yeah, he did go 1, 2, 3, 4. Just hard-nosed, great wrestler. Probably I don't know, would you say the best Edinburgh wrestler ever? I mean, Gillespie was really good too. He actually lives down the road from me, but I'd probably say it's tough. Probably definitely one of the best Edinburgh wrestlers ever.
We did a Borough Goat Madness this past season for our buddy Matt Hill, who coaches at Edinburgh. And actually, Gillespie ended up beating Koscheck in the finals. Just in case
you're wrong,
wondering.
Kevin.
They were both the finals.
I like Gillespie. He's crazy.
Yeah, Gillespie had that. We talked about Gillespie in what was the weight? 142, 150, or
yeah,
I forget what.
Yeah.
And I had him making a first round upset. Just because that year that Gillespie won was a fantastic year. And a loaded bracket that he won.
The semis, that nobody saw that coming. He's a maniac. He's a good kid.
All right, Jake, are you going Edinburgh here as well before we move on to the final matchup? Okay. Yeah,
Koscheck did. He even had some injuries, too. I think he had like a broken neck or something at some point. Was still able to tough through one of these ones, man. He's insane with what he's been able to do, and then going on to have the UFC career that he had too.
What a dog. Coach, what an absolute dog he is. But all right, folks, moving on to the final first round matchup, and then we're going to just talk briefly about some of the anticipated matchups. We're looking at the number 31 seed Keith Stearns in the 1978 season out of Oklahoma. He went 22-4-1, but he's going up against Joe Williams. In the 1998 season, Joe Williams earning the number 2 seed in this weight class. Impressive. The Iowa Hawkeye went 34-0 that year with 4 pins. You got to go Joe Williams 2 seed, right, Aaron?
Yes, sir. This, not to give anything away, I got Williams going all the way out to the finals. He is the number 2 seed, but he's from my era. And when I was at Edinburgh, this was one guy that you did not want to run into. He has all the tools. Super strong, super fast, athletic, great technique and skill, and an Iowa Hawkeye at the time when Iowa was just beating everybody up. So I'm going
Cable, right?
Yes, sir.
Kevin?
Yeah, Williams, 129-9. He finished 5th at the Olympics and won, competed in 6 world championships and was just a stud for Iowa. So Williams.
And Jake?
Yeah, Joe Williams. Man, he had it all. When he wanted to score, he could go. He had it all. Family legacy. TJ was pretty good there himself as well. 98-1. I think that's a no-brainer.
Okay, I agree. And now I'm going to kick it off for some of the most anticipated matchups. Some of these I've already kind of touched on. But Joe Williams, while we're talking about him, how about him quarterfinal matchup up against Zahid Valencia? I think that would be fun. But I got to tell you, I think the most fun would be in the semifinals. I have Joe Williams and Ben Askren going up against each other. And I'm sorry, spoiler alert, I got Askren in the finals, fellas, going up against, on the other side, the winner of this match, Carter Starocci and Dave Shultz. I have not decided, but to me, that's a second round matchup, Carter Starocci and Dave Shultz. And I have the winner of that match going on to the finals to face Ben Askren, and I have not decided. But along with that, I think a potential quarterfinal matchup I was interested in, the number 5 seed Marty Kistler up against the number 4 seed Mike Sheets. I thought that could be both of them basically have identical resumes, but I don't know. Aaron, what are some of the matchups you're looking forward to here?
Yeah, either way you pick it, you're going to either have Starocci or Shultz out there in the quarters against Pendleton. I think that's a fire as far as quarterfinals are concerned. To give it away, I have Shultz going out to the finals. So obviously, then Shultz beats Pendleton in my bracket. But I think that would be a fantastic quarterfinal matchup. I have Sheets going out to the semis, so that puts him up against Kistler, and Kistler winning. For me, again, you mentioned the Askren versus Joe Williams. I think that would be a really interesting clash of styles, and again, I had Williams coming out on top of that just because of my personal, favoritism towards Williams being from his era, but nonetheless, those are some of the matchups that I really gravitate towards in those quarter and semi-final rounds.
All right, Kevin.
Actually, I got Zahid wrestling Ben in one of the semis. But Zahid's road, though, man, real tough. Chris Perry, then I got him Joe Williams, and then I have him losing to Ben. I like the Chris Pendleton, Carter Starocci quarterfinal. I got Pendleton winning that.
Whoa!
But ultimately, I got Ben and Pendleton in the finals, and Ben totally redeems himself.
Whoa! You got the 9 seed Pendleton in the finals up against Ben Askren.
Yeah, Pendleton was tough, man. I think he's. How can you be overlooked when you're a 2-time champion? But I don't think he's talked enough about. Real tough guy. So yeah, that's who I got.
Okay, all right. I have. Jake, what are you looking at here?
I just like how does Starocci not get it, man? He's a 5-time national champ. We never had that.
That's fan vote, Jake. That's how fans
vote. 5-time national champ. Take your emotions out of it and just put the best wrestler on there, right? It's like I want to put. You don't got to like the guy, but if I'm going to pick a guy to go out and win a national championship, I'm going to put Carter on the mat because he don't lose.
Yeah.
But it's so tough too because you get all these awesome matchups. Like you get Sheets is running up through there. How would he do against these different styles? How does that happen with Askren and Joe Williams is a great clash up if it can happen, but they got to get through a lot of people. Like Zahid's got to get Williams got to get through Zahid first. Askren would have to get all the way through. Possibly even Gavin or Mark Branch would be an awesome one. Branch and Askren. So I don't know. And there's a lot of good guys, and this being my weight class, I've studied a lot of these guys. I know a lot of these guys. This is in and around it too. Some of those lighter guys I know a little bit of, but these are the guys that I watch. These are the guys that I know. These are the guys I studied because this is where I competed at.
So Jake, you have Carter Wood in this, I assume, but who else do you have in the finals?
I think I went him against Ben all the way down. Just because Joe Williams got that style that like, hey, he wants to hit one or two takedowns and just he's not as dominant as Ben's going to be, and Ben's going to make him wrestle.
Okay. Hey, listen, folks, this has been fun, and you got a little bit of some history lessons there from Jake and Kevin and Aaron all combined. That was fun, but you got to vote, and the voting ends this Friday, so you only have a couple days here, and this is what it's all about. You got to go to WrestleMatness.com, enter, and then go to where Aaron touched on previously to read these short bios because they're incredibly well written. No AI assistance as well, I confirmed. So even more impressive. But folks, we were here and that was fun. Go to WrestleMatness.com to vote for the greatest wrestler of all time between 167 and 174 pounds. And guys, one final thought. We'll go around the horn and appreciate you guys joining us. Aaron.
I just wanted to reiterate what Jake said earlier about he picking in that first round matchup Bill Simpson because his dad used to wrestle him in the wrestling room. That's what the GOAT Madness brackets are all about. It's for you to be a fan and pick the guys that you want to root for and believe that they'll make it out. It's stats are stats, and this is all theoretical. So have fun with it and be a wrestling fan and vote them out.
Well said, Kevin.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. Jake, I really enjoyed hearing your aspect on these guys since you wrestled them, a lot of them, and it was interesting hearing your perspectives. And Aaron, I appreciate you doing this. This is excellent. Wrestle Madness is wonderful, and you guys are doing great things. Zach, thanks for including me, and I really enjoyed this.
Hey, well said. And Jake, bring it home.
Yes, Aaron, I want to thank you and your brother for putting this on, man, because I said when I was like an 8, 9, and 10-year-old, I'd go and like make these brackets up with like Sean Cully, and we'd like sit there and we would like write these like crazy brackets out that, hey, if Chris Flieger wrestled Troy Letters, if they wrestled, all these guys, and I'd put these brackets together, and we just have like two kids, at like a wrestling tournament, like talking about these things. And the fact that we can bring this and use the technology to bring it together, to look at the real life people, and get to have these conversations and these things about it is awesome. I mean, that's what I love what this sport's about, man. Bringing the community together, getting to talk through this stuff, and just continue to inspire the next future generation that like, hey man, I want to be in this bracket. Like I know what Flo's doing that like top 4 quarter century whatever, and I'm gonna lose my crap if I'm not one of the top 4 on them. Like I'm out there like I'm already looking at it too, and I'm like, all right, what are they gonna say about this or that? Like I'm waiting for it. It's the next one coming up. And just inspiring that next generation to go wrestle. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be like, I have everything in my acclimate of like, who are you gonna pick over me? Why are you gonna pick them over me?
Yeah, that's what it is all about. I mean, be a wrestling fan, right? That's what Aaron said. And hey, how can you argue Jake Herbert, an 09 Hodge winner? Do you got that trophy behind you, Jake? You can show us.
Still at Northwestern. It's being displayed there to get our recruits and that stuff down there. My wife did finally hang some stuff in the basement, so when you enter my house, it does look like I did wrestle before, because before you're like, oh, this guy isn't.
All right, we'll have to check them out next time. But that's it for this time, folks. Go to WrestleMatness.com now and vote, and like and subscribe to BEG Wrestling, and we'll be back next time. See ya.